Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. This is your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, friend, preacher, one and all. And this is the one stop destination wherein we all are going to connect with each other and wherein we all can blossom and bloom with each other, right? So, this is me, Sukriti Joshi, ma'am. So, from today onwards, we are going to start our series, our vision series that is gonna be based on the poems that we are going to cover in class 12. So it's gonna be the revision, so done by me, Sukriti Joshi ma'am. This is included in your CBSE curriculum, right? The contact details have been mentioned on your screen. As you can see, my number. You can contact me anytime for further queries, for further inquiries, for any sort of doubt. You can just let me know. So this is the one-stop destination that is English Curricle, the Odyssey of Education. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. So in today's session, basically we are going to cover Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, which is a profound poem. Trust me, guys, it's a profound poem. And it is written by Adrian Rich, right? Again, the contact details have been mentioned, so you can contact us. English Curricle, the Odyssey of Education, right? And you like, subscribe, and do comment in the comment section below and show your support, guys. All right, so starting with Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. So about the poet, we are going to start off with Edwin Rich, who was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Right, so she's a multifaceted personality. That's what we can say. She is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and a theorist. So she was a poet as well as theorist. That's why I said multifaceted personality. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, and she has published, can you imagine, 19 volumes of poetry, three collection uh, three collections of essays and other writings, right? A strong resistance to racism and militarism uh, echoes through her work. That means that is what she's trying to, this is the way she's trying to echo her words, right? Beautiful line, echo. So this echoes through her works. Resistance, right? The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life a woman experiences. And when we talk about Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, it basically is addressing the constraints, the kind of rigidity that comes into picture, into play when you know when this institution called marriage is uh there. So, and if the male is dominating, like if we have a patriarchal society, so we are basically over here talking about a patriarchal society in which there are a lot of constraints uh, that are put. There are various norms, there are various rules, regulations, and a woman feels stifled, right? Her creativity is also stifled. She feels neglected. So, all those experiences have been depicted and delineated by Adrian Rich in a precise and a concise way. For further queries and for further doubts, if you have any, you can contact us on this number. Uh, this is your very own destination, English Curricle, the Odyssey of Education. All right, so this is now. Are you reminded of other poems on tigers? So this is our proofreading exercise, right? So keep that in mind. So the title of the poem suggests that the poem is about Aunt Jennifer's woven tigers. So she is basically weaving tigers on the tapestry, right? On an exquisite tapestry, which which with their chivalric, ferocious pride and carefree attitude. So tigers, obviously, when we talk about these traits of tigers, see the if we see the traits of the married woman or the Aunt Jennifer, who is symbolic of all the married women who are in that chain or who are in that uh, who are chained by or who are in the clutches of the patriarchy. So she's actually symbolizing all the women out there. So the title of the poem suggests that the poem is about Aunt Jennifer's woven tigers. So their attributes are absolutely different because tigers are not afraid of men. Tigers are chivalric, they're ferocious, they're bright, they're carefree. They have this carefree attitude. And therefore she creates an alternate world of her creation. So therefore she's, weaving the tapestry in order to create what she's not. So she wants all those traits which she wants to instill in herself, but she isn't able to. Why? Because uh she she is meek, right? She's the opposite of these traits. So she is meek, she's weak, she's feeling uh weak, uh she's timid, she's shy. And why is this condition like, why has this condition been framed like this? So this condition is like has been framed like this because of the constitution of marriage, because of her dominating, and because of her husband, who is on the other hand very rigid, who is very who believes in the watertight compartment roles that have been assigned to women, right? By the society, by the patriarchal society. So the tigers are the only means of free expression in her life. So the tigers, they are the only means of free expression in her life, which is otherwise burdened by fear and struggles of her married life. So the tigers, it's through tigers only that she is able to lead a carefree or lead a not carefree, but lead a life at least she can breathe, right? So it provides a means, it acts as a means of expression in her life, which is otherwise burdened by fear, by the struggles of the married life. There are many other poems written about tigers, some of which are given below. So this is prepared by me, Sukriti Joshi, ma'am, your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, preacher, friend, guru, one and all, right? And this is the one-stop destination for all of us to learn together and to grow together, right? So you can contact us, you can reach out to us by contacting us on this number, and this is the one-stop destination, that is English Gurukul, Odyssey of Education. All right. So these are the other poems that are written by other writers or other beautiful, marvelous, or monumental writers, such as The Tiger by William Blake. This poem marvels at the ferocity and beauty of the tiger, questioning its creation and symbolizing power forces in nature. Then we have Tiger Tiger by Richard Le Gallen, a lesser known poem that also explores the tiger's fierce nature. So this is also, in this poem also we explore the fierce nature of tiger, the ferocity of tiger, the marvels and the beauty of tiger, right? Compared to these, and how men are, afraid of these tigers. Men aren't afraid of anything. Men are only afraid of tigers. So they are otherwise cowards. They are not afraid of anyone, but in front of tigers, they act as cowards. Clear? So compared to these, Aunt Jennifer's tigers uses this tiger imagery to represent personal strength and freedom in contrast to the aunt's subdued life. The tigers are fearless and bold, unlike Aunt Jennifer herself, which adds depth to the poem's meaning. So it is actually adding layer, it is actually adding depth to the poem's meaning. So you can call it a poem or a poem, whatever suits. Right, so compared to these, Aunt Jennifer's tigers uses the tiger imagery to represent personal strength and freedom, in contrast to what Aunt's life is like. So Aunt's life is subdued, right? The tigers are, on the other hand, fearless. They are bold in nature, unlike Aunt Jennifer herself, which adds depth to the poem's meaning. Then we move on to poem at we will see this poem at a glance. So the poet is Edwin Rich. Theme is basically patriarchy, its oppression of women, desire for freedom, contrast between art and life. So how art is, when a person, you just think about it, just ponder about it, that if a person's feelings and emotions and thoughts are, um, you know, uh, stifled, they are um, they aren't given any sort of vent or any sort of exposure, then obviously they would be stifling in art as well. So whatever she's weaving a tapestry, that's a piece of art only, right? So there is this stifling of an artist as well, right? Art and life, right? So form, we get to see that there are three quatrains, and we get to see regular rhyme, that is A, and steady rhythm contrasts with inner turmoil. So there's this steady rhythm that we get to see, but there's this turmoil that, or turmoil or storm that goes within. If you have any queries, you can contact us on this number. And this is the one-stop destination, that is English Gurukul, the Odyssey of Education. Then we come on to Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek, chivalric certainty, right? So herein we get to see that how Aunt Jennifer's tigers, they are prancing. That means they're moving across a screen, that is a screen or a panel or a tapestry, whatever we may call it. Bright topaz denizens, that is bright topaz here, over here. See, you might have heard about a lot of stones, precious stones, be it topaz, be it there are many stones out there. Pokhraj, है ना? Pokhraj सुना होगा. So we are talking about that yellow stone that is very precious and that is very expensive too. So bright topaz denizens, so dwellers, denizens, herein we are talking about the dwellers, we are talking about the people who are living, who are the citizens, right, of the world of green. Whenever we are talking about the world of green, so over here, if we are talking about, just give me a moment, let me use my pen. So whenever we are talking about the world of across a screen, this is the panel, bright topaz. So tigers have been compared to the Yellowstone, like they are very bold and they are majestic in nature, right? So bright topaz denizens, that is dwellers or citizens of a world of green. So they are free, unlike Aunt Jennifer, who is enclosed within who has constraints and who is enclosed within the four walls of her home. They are free. They are roaming freely in the world of green, that denotes forest, right? That's why I have even included green color in my PPT, and yellow also, because I wanted to show the yellow part, that is symbolic of topaz, bright topaz, and a world of green, that is green. So yeah, that's the reason. So they do not fear the men beneath the trees. So they aren't afraid. So they do not fear the men beneath the trees. So tigers are not afraid of the men. Instead, what's the picture like? Men are afraid of the tigers. they are acting in a cowardly manner. But tigers aren't afraid of men beneath the tree. So they're standing over there underneath in order to shoot the tigers in a cowardly manner, but tigers are not afraid. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So they are moving in sleek chivalric certainty. So for example, herein we are talking about the chivalric age as well, that how, tigers used to, how chivalric movement and age was there. So in the age of chivalry, you might have seen that in pictures and movies as well, that how there are chivalric boys who will open the doors. For example, if I am going out somewhere, somebody opens the door of the car, or somebody opens the door of the shop that I'm entering, or somebody um opens anything, or somebody helps me out, somebody, if anything has fallen down, somebody picks it up, and anything, it could be anything, any small to big thing. But that chivalric certainty that was there, that is missing now, right? So but still, when we talk about them, these tigers, they are pacing in sleek chivalric certainty, right? Clear? Then, all right, then Aunt Jennifer's tigers, fingers fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering. So now her fingers are fluttering, right? That is, her fingers are moving and shaking. So she's so afraid of her husband that even her fingers, while weaving the tapestry, while weaving the panel, while weaving the screen, her basically fingers flutter, right? Her fingers are moving, though her through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. So her fingers are even finding the ivory needle hard to pull. So you must have seen the needle through which you do your work, through which you basically weave. So it's very, it's not that hard that hard to pick, or that hard to have over. But she was finding it very hard to pull. She couldn't even pull. It was very difficult. It was coming out to be very, very difficult for her in order to pull, right? So ivory over here is symbolic of that she belongs to a upper class strata, because ivory everybody couldn't afford it. Like, if I talk about ivory, so elephants uh, trunk, so it's made up of the tooth and everything, like they're very, very expensive. So ivory was also a was also a thing that was considered to be a part of a high society, right? So the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So the massive weight, what is it? What are we referring to? The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. That means her wedding ring. So we are basically referring to the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band, that is the wedding ring, right? That we are referring to over here. So wedding band in abroad, abroad, we refer to band as ring. So the massive weight of Uncle's. Why is it very massive? It is it that massive that she's finding it difficult to I don't have my ring right now, but is it so difficult for her to wear that ring? No, it isn't. It's the burden of the marriage. It's the burden of what she has been carrying since her marriage. It's that weight. It's the uh it's the uh, it's the fear of her husband, right? Is acting as that is acting as massive weight, right? Clear? Then we move on to the next slide. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. All right. So when Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. So herein we are also, so you see, she is basically the victim. She is basically the one who was mastered by. That means the husband, there was this master slave kind of a relationship that existed, right? Wherein the husband acted as a kind of a master and the women, the if we talk about Aunt Jennifer, or if we talk about women in general, they are acting as slaves in the world of patriarchy. So the tigers in the panel that she made. So Aunt is dead. We get to see that how when Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. So how art outlives the artist. Herein we get to see. So she is not there. She is no more. She is not there in this world anymore. No more. She's dead. But the creation, but whatever she had woven in the whatever she wove, the tigers that she wove in the panel or in on the screen or on the tapestry, they are going to survive. And the tigers in the panel that she made, they will go prancing, they will go on prancing, that is, they will go on, they will keep on moving proudly, in a proud fashion, in an unafraid manner, right? So they will go on prancing proud and unafraid. So they won't be afraid of men. They will be very proud and they will prance, that is, they will move, right? So if you have any queries, you can let us know by contacting us and reaching out to us. And this is the one-stop destination, that is English Gurukul, the Odyssey of education. Then we have Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. This we have done. Okay, then we move on to the message part. So Edwin Rich critiques how patriarchal marriage suppresses women's identities. So it is basically talking about that how patriarchal, in a patriarchal world, in a patriarchal society, how it actually suppresses our consciousness. So we do have the second sex also that is there, but you'll get to study that in your masters. For now, it's this is okay for you guys, that it suppresses women's identities. Creative expression becomes a lasting form of protest. So creative expression, it becomes a lasting form of protest. That means art lives the artist. Art art lives art outlives the artist, right? So creative expression becomes a lasting form of protest when real freedom is denied. So when real freedom is denied, obviously one will take refuge to art. So the central idea of the poem is that there's a contrast between Aunt Jennifer's um, uh, traits and the tiger's traits. So we get to see how Aunt Jennifer was timid, how she was burdened with, she was leading a burdened life with a bold, and we get to see on the opposite hand the bold, fearless tigers that she has woven. The tiger symbolized the strength and freedom she longs for but cannot achieve in her marriage. Even after her death, she's no more. Her art survives, asserting a silent resistance. So this is basically a silent resistance that we get to see. Now, please, guys, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you really like it, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel and do support it, guys. All right, so herein we get to see key literary devices, symbolism. We get to see tigers and ring, So this is a part of symbolism. Then we have contrast, fearlessness, fearless tigers versus fearful aunt Jennifer. So it's a contrast. Both of them, they're opposite to each other, right? So it's a contrast. Symbolism, you can imagine tigers, you can imagine the ring. So that is symbolism. Alliteration, prancing, proud, pp, the repetition of the consonant sounds, right? Irony, power exists only in her heart, not life. So power exists. Irony is that it's ironical because power exists only in her art, not in life. Then we have symbols and imagery. Tigers, strength. They stand for strength. They stand for freedom. They stand for rebellion. Ring for patriarchal domination, for marital burden. And also there is this circus kind of a thing that you can assume or that you can imagine, and wherein there is a master who is taming the slave and so on and so forth. So in a relationship also, in a marriage also, we can see that embroidery art as escape and resistance. So embroidery we can see, or weaving on the panel or on the tapestry or on the screen, we can see say that art as an we can see art as an escape route and as a route for resistance. If you have any queries, do let us know in by contacting. And this is the one-stop destination that is English Gurukul, the Odyssey of education. Do like, share, and subscribe to my video. Then we have stanza 1, the tiger prance confidently, fearlessly, bright, symbols of power and autonomy. Stanza 2, Aunt Jennifer struggles to pull the needle. Her hands shake under the weight of her marriage ring, symbolizing oppression, suppression, right? Then we have stanza 3, even in death, the burden of marriage remains. The tigers, however, continue to live, eternal and unafraid, right? Do contact us on this number, and this is the one-stop destination that is English Gurukul, the Odyssey of education, right? Do like, share, subscribe, right? Then we have about William Blake, I'll just tell you who was he. So because they also wrote about tigers. So William Blake, the period spans from 1757 to 1827. So when we talk about the identity and age, he was a romantic poet, a painter, and an engraver, right? Often called a pre-romantic or visionary romantic. So he was often called a pre-romantic or visionary romantic. He lived in London, largely unrecognized in his lifetime. So he lived in London. However, he was not acknowledged. Then we get to see the poems, some of his poems, Songs of Innocence in 1789, Songs of Experience in 1794, combined as Songs of Innocence and of Experience 1794, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, The Book of the Othello, then Jerusalem, then Milton, right? And then we have other famous poems such as The Lamb, The Tiger. So this is the just a second. So this is what we are referring to in this poem, The Tiger. Right? London, Chimney Sweeper, both versions, Holy Thursday, Holy Thursday, sorry, Holy Thursday. Why isn't this moving? Yes. All right. So yeah, that was it from my end. I hope you liked the session. If you liked it, do give it a thumbs up and do let me know. If you have any queries, do let me know. So this is Sukriti Joshi signing off, right? I hope you liked my session. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any queries, any doubts, you're more than welcome. I mean, I'll feel honored if you'll contact us on this number and reach out to us, right? So this is your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, guru, preacher, one and all, and this is the one-stop destination that is English Gurukul, the Odyssey of Education. Till then, let's all keep learning. Till then, let's all keep growing. Namaste, Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna.